where the threads end. They say time heals all wounds, a quaint, mortal sentiment. They never tell you what happens when you become time itself. When every wound, every scar, every fleeting joy and crushing sorrow across 1 trillion lifespans happens all at once, forever, in the space of your own heartbeat. If you could hear it, the sound of this place, it would break you. It is not silence. It is the opposite of silence. It is the whisper of every first word and the rattle of every last breath. It is the roar of a star being born in a galaxy you've never named, and the sigh of a lover's betrayal in a room just down the street. All of it, a symphony of existence, and I am its conductor, its prisoner, its god. My name is Loki. I believe you knew me by another title once, the God of Mischief. What a small, childish thing that seems now. A boy playing with knives in the shadow of a mountain, thinking himself a king. I wanted a throne. I craved a crown, a kingdom to kneel. Be careful what you wish for. I sit now on the greatest throne of all, at the very end of everything, and I am more alone than any soul has ever been. From here, I see it all. I see the boy I was, shivering in the cold of Jotunheim, not yet knowing the truth of his blood. I see him standing before Odin, a father whose love was a currency he never had enough of. I see the rage, the bitter, coiling serpent of jealousy for a brother who shone like the sun, while I was born for the shadows. I see every lie I ever told, every trick I ever played. They aren't memories anymore, they are living things. They are threads vibrant and pulsing in this great cosmic tapestry I now hold in my hands. I hold my own past as if it were a story I once read about a very foolish, very broken man. And I feel a sort of pity for him, a distant, hollow ache. He thought his pain was the center of the universe. He thought his glorious purpose was to rule. He never understood. Purpose isn't about being seen, it's about seeing. I see my mother, Frigga. Not just her death, which I relived 1,000 times until the edges of it were worn smooth with grief. I see her teaching me my first spell, her hands warm on mine, the scent of night-blooming flowers in the Asgardian air. I see the pride in her eyes, a pride I spent a millennium chasing from a man who would never grant it. That single perfect moment of her smile, it's a star I steer by in this endless dark. It burns, just as brightly as the moment the Dark Elf's blade took her. Joy and sorrow, woven from the same thread. That is the cruelest lesson this throne has taught me. And Thor, oh, my brother. I watch him. I see him finding his worth not in Mjolnir, but in himself. I see him laughing with his new mortal friends. I see him mourning our father, our home, me. I see every battle, every triumph, every moment of quiet doubt. I used to envy his strength. Now I see its true cost. The burden of being the hero, the one who must always stand, who must always win. His path is a straight, shining line of gold. Mine is the labyrinth that surrounds it, the complex, knotted reality that allows his simple, beautiful story to exist. He is the poem. I am the grammar that gives it meaning, and he will never, ever know. It is a lonely sort of love, to be the architect of a world you cannot inhabit. But they are the ghosts of a life I no longer have. My real torment, my real grace, comes from the new stories, the ones I chose to save. Mobius, my friend, I see him. I see the life that was stolen from him. I see him on a timeline, a real one, with his 2 sons. I see him laughing, grilling sausages in his backyard. I see the sheer, unburdened happiness on his face. He's happy. He doesn't remember me. He doesn't know the TVA or the sacred timeline or the friend who broke time for him. And that is my gift to him. I gave him back his story, and in doing so, I wrote myself out of it. There are moments I want to scream. I want to tear a hole in his reality and say, remember me, remember what we did. But the God I am now understands what the man I was could not. True love, True friendship is not about possession. It's about letting go. So I watch him ride his jet ski and I smile. It's a real smile, and it hurts more than any blade ever could. And then there is Sylvie, my love, my chaos, my mirror. She is a walking, breathing paradox, a defiant, beautiful branch that refused to be pruned. I see her trying to find a life, working in a cheap restaurant, finding a moment of peace, listening to music. She chose this. She chose a small, quiet life over a throne at my side. And I, who once would have burned worlds for a throne, finally understand why. She wanted a story of her own, not one written by he who remains, and not one co-authored by me. She wanted the mess, the uncertainty, the simple, terrifying beauty of a choice. I hold her timeline in my hand, and it feels different. It trembles with a unique frequency, a song of rage and hope. She killed him, she freed us all, and in doing so, she doomed me to this chair. Was it a betrayal? Or was it the ultimate act of faith? She trusted me to fix it. She saw the man I could be, not the monster I was. She pushed me off the cliff because she knew, somewhere deep down, that I would learn to fly. And I did, just not in the way either of us imagined. The philosophers and scientists of a million worlds have debated the nature of free will for eons. They were all wrong. Free will is not a gift, it is not a right, it is a burden. It is a terrifying, chaotic, impossibly beautiful mess. And it requires a gardener, someone to tend the soil, to hold the branches so they can reach for the sun, to ensure the entire forest doesn't collapse under the weight of its own growth. That is my glorious purpose, not to rule, not to control, but to hold, to protect the possibility of choice itself. I am a god, but not of mischief. Not anymore. I am the god of stories, every single one. I am the silent witness to every act of kindness. I am the keeper of every lover's secret. I feel the terror of a child lost in the dark, and the resolve of a soldier marching into a battle she knows she cannot win. I am the anchor that moors the ship of reality. I am the reason you can wake up in the morning and decide to have coffee instead of tea. I am the reason your choices matter. Because I am here, ensuring the branch of your life has a place to grow. It is an agony. It is an eternity of watching the people I love live and die over and over while I remain. I am a statue in the center of the garden, watching the seasons change on an infinite loop. The cold is a constant companion, a deep, internal winter that leaches the warmth from my very soul. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am so tired. But then I see it. I see a young girl on a forgotten world learning to read, her eyes wide with the magic of a story. I see an old man telling his grandchild about a life well lived, his voice weak but his spirit strong. I see two strangers falling in love over a shared joke. I see an inventor failing for the 100th time, but getting up to try again. I see a hero choosing mercy over vengeance. I see the moments, the tiny, insignificant, breathtakingly beautiful moments that make up a life. The choices, the love, the hope. They flicker like fireflies in the endless night, and for a second, they push back the cold. They are the reason, they are the meaning. My sacrifice was not for a grand, abstract concept called free will. It was for them, for Mobius and his sons, for Sylvie and her quiet rebellion, for Thor and his noble heart, for you, for everyone. I gave up my story so that all of yours could continue. And that is a purpose far more glorious than any crown. So I sit, I hold the threads, I watch, I listen to the symphony. The pain is real, the loneliness is a chasm, but the love is the loom itself. It is the structure of everything. The boy who wanted to be loved by a king has become the love that allows the universe to be. Perhaps this isn't a prison after all. Perhaps this is the only real freedom there is. To let go of your own story and become a part of everyone else's. My name is Loki, and this is my watch. It has already lasted forever, and it has only just begun.